Good morning students. In this video I am going to start with lesson 7 of class 7th history. The chapter name is The Making of a Composite Culture. The composite culture, where we have seen in the medieval period a lot of changes which are there in the mixing of the cultures, mixing of different varieties in the architecture, in the languages and the social status. And because of that mixing, there are a lot of mixing of Hindu and Muslim culture. And one of the result is about the making and the development of the new religious ideas which took place in India. And that is the reason it has impacted on the larger variety and the sections of the society in the form of the art, in the form of the literature, in the form of the music as well. There were a lot of things happening. Then during this period, there were a lot of social status and the professions were totally based on caste. And that is why it has been decided when they give birth. So the lower caste were all have been denied with all the social privileges and they are not even allowed to enter the temples. So that is why some of the people have started escaping these social discrimination and converted themselves to Buddhism and Jainism. And that is why which has preached them through the social equality. And there were a lot of profession through which the growth of trade and the new craft which were also created opportunities for the people in the country. And some of the religious thinkers have received this idea by the name of Bhakti, means devotion. Bhakti, which means devotion, which were already mentioned in the ancient texts such as Bhagavad Gita and Purans. They started this Bhakti movement which led and put the stress on only this word, devotion. There were no any strict rituals, there were no complex situations to worship any god. They have preached in the personal god. They wanted that you should be devoted to your personal god either in whichever form you wanted to. Like Saguna, which is without any form, and Nirguna with any form. They also preached all of these devotions in all their preachings. They started preaching in the local languages, and that is the reason people are able to understand all of these things in a large number, and that is why it has attracted larger sections of the people towards the common. The movement which is started, that is the Bhakti movement. The Bhakti movement, it has started in two areas of the country, in the South India and in North India. There were a lot of saints who have preached into certain areas they started their preaching the Bhakti movement in the areas of South India and the North India. The Bhakti movement basically started in the South India, where it has been started in the 7th century by the two temples, that is Vishnu and Shiva temples at Tirupati and in Kanchi. It was all begun by the Alva saints who were the Vaishnavas, that is the devotees of the Lord Vishnu, and the Nayanars saint who were the devotees of Lord Shiva. These saints actually promoted the caste equality among each other through the common people. Some of them also preached the equality among men and the women. And that is the reason they are able to reduce the social evils in the society. They also checked that the Hindus have started becoming and converting themselves to Buddhists and Jains to escape the social discrimination which I have discussed earlier. They also have put a proper check on those people. The Chola, Chera and Pandya rulers of the South India, they also supported these movements and started building the temples for the Bhakti gods. So Nayan and Alvar saints who started composing the hymns, and they also led a large group of devotees from one temple to the another singing all of these hymns. Devaram and Divya Prabandham are some of the collections of Nayanar and Alvar hymns respectively. Tiruvalluvar Siva Sanganam is an excellent collection of the hymns which were composed by Manikava a Nayanar saint, and the hymns, whatever it is being mentioned in the hymns, which tells us that the saints that have come from the various castes, they were all Brahmins and non-Brahmins, including Shudra and untouchables. Now let's talk about the differences and the similarities of Nayanars and Alvar saints. There were a lot of similarities between these two saints. They preached the devotion to the personal God. They both rejected in the elaborative rituals and all the tradition. They promoted the caste equality and the equality among men and women. These movements, both of these movements, are being used, the Tamil language, for composing their devotional songs and the hymns. They attack the Buddhism and Jainism, both for which they have incorporated the rigid rituals in India and in their practices. While the Alvars, as in the beginning I told you about, that is, they are the worshippers of Lord Vishnu, and Nayanars, they are the worshippers of the Lord Shiva. So they have been composing their hymns into the collection of the hymns which were composed by these two different saints are by Alvar saints, they are known as Divya Prabandham, while the Nayanar saints who have these collection of hymns are known as Devaram. In North India, there were a lot of saints by the name of Shankaracharya, Ramanujam, Nathpanthis, Veerashaivas and Varakaris. All of these are the saints belonging to the South India, and the saints like Ramananda and Shankaradeva, they are belonging to the North India. So all of these saints have contributed in their own fields. Let's talk about each of them. Shankaracharya, he was belonging to the 8th century of saint of South India. He preached the Advaita philosophy, where he was understanding and uniting the universal soul called the Brahma through the attainment of the knowledge. Shankaracharya also set up the mathas, where these are the centers of the learning or the worshipping at the Badrinath, Puri, Dwarka and Sringeri. These mathas have also grown into the pilgrimage centers. Ramanuja, the Vaishnava saint Ramanuja of the 12th century, has also laid a stress on the devotion through love. The Ramanuja preached social equality, condemned the caste-based restrictions on entering temples. His teachings influenced the Bhakti saints of the North India. Nathpanthis, they are the sect who practice the Nirguna Bhakti, where Nathpanthis preachers are the low caste professionals such as tanners, washermen, oil pressers, cobblers and fishermen. They also drew followers from the all castes. They also laid a stress on the meditation on mental and physical disciplines through yoga. Veerashaivas, he belongs to the 12th century. The Lingayat, the Shaivic movement begins in the Karnataka. It was led by the Vasa. Varakaris are the saints of the Maharashtra. They are the worshippers of Lord Vithala, that is Lord Vishnu, of different places, and that is why they have been popularized the Vithala worship. Now in North India, there were two other saints, Ramananda, who belongs to the Varanasi, who also spread the message of devotion of Lord Rama, and the Shankaradeva, who was a Bhakti saint of Assam, who was the ardent devotee of the Lord Vishnu and the incarnation of the Krishna. He also condemned the caste system. Madhavas in the 13th century, who was also a worshipper of Lord Vishnu. Mirabai, the wife of the crown prince of Mewar, also composed hymns for Lord Krishna. Vallabhacharya, these are some of the other saints. Vallabhacharya, who came from the Telugu Brahmin family, who also built the temple for Krishna on Govardhan Hill near Mathura. So these are some of the devotional compositions of Bhakti saints, and which were being known as the Bhakti movement, popular and it is still popular. Many people are involved in all of these movements and they are still preaching their rituals and traditions.